Iris, desperate for validation and hungry for the spotlight, hatches a plan. If the world won't give him the praise, he'll manufacture it himself. Under the pseudonym Vincent Home, he writes glowing letters about his own poetry to editors and publishers. He forges letters of endorsement from the likes of T.S. Eliot, W.B. Yeats, Salvador Dalí, even Picasso. Names that are so luminous that the praise opened doors that would otherwise be shut. Suddenly, Iris is everywhere. Published in Poetry Magazine, reviewed in Chicago's biggest papers. His name whispered among the city's literary elite. If you're ready to uncover more secrets behind the world's most fascinating cons, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell. That way you'll never miss the next twist in the world of cons, and you'll always be one step ahead of the game. Chicago, early 20th century. The city is a crucible of ambition. Skyscrapers rising, newspapers roaring, every street corner alive with hustlers and dreamers. Into this world steps a young Italian immigrant named Sharmel Iris, burning with one obsession: to be remembered as the next great American poet. But Chicago is a tough town, and Iris soon learns that talent alone is not enough to break through the noise. Sharmel Iris was born in 1889 in Castel Civita, Italy, a picturesque village clinging to the cliffs above the Selle River. His family immigrated to Chicago when he was a child, landing in the city's crowded, immigrant-packed neighborhoods. Iris grew up surrounded by poverty, but also by the intoxicating promise of the American dream. He was a sensitive, bookish boy, obsessed with poetry and desperate to escape the anonymity of factory life. But the literary world was insular, and rejection after rejection left him bitter, and he was determined to force his way into the spotlight. He published for his first time at 16, and the taste of recognition is intoxicating. For Iris, self-invention became survival. If the world wouldn't recognize his genius, he'd manufacture his own legend, one forged signature at a time. But Iris isn't content with mere publication. He wants to be a legend. He pens letters to wealthy patrons, posing as a friend or relative of the greats, begging for support in the name of art. He even uses Lewis College as his address, implying that he's faculty, eventually moving onto the campus itself, weaving himself into the academic fabric until the truth begins to unravel. Every move is calculated. Every letter, every alias, every forged connection is a step up the ladder to fame. For a while, it works. Iris is celebrated, quoted, and even funded. His poetry is read by those who matter. And for a fleeting moment, he stands in the glow of the limelight he always wanted and that he craved. But the cracks do begin to show. Editors grow suspicious. Patrons compare notes. The web of lies starts to tangle. And Iris finds himself dodging questions, inventing new stories, clinging to the persona that he built from smoke and mirrors. The end comes quietly but inevitably. In 1996, Lewis College finally uncovers the truth and expels him from campus. His illusions shattered. Iris spends his final days in a nearby retirement home, his name fading from the headlines, his legend reduced to a cautionary tale. But the lesson lingers. Sharmel Iris's greatest creation wasn't a poem. It was himself. He proved that in the world of art and ambition, fame can be forged as easily as a signature, and that sometimes the hunger for recognition can drive a man to become his own myth. That's the story of Sharmel Iris, the poet who conned his way into the canon and showed us all how far some will go to see their name in the lights, even if they have to write the reviews themselves. When the forged letters are exposed and the applause fades, Iris's legacy is left in question. But what drove him to such lengths for recognition? Let's examine the hunger for fame and how the line between ambition and deception can blur in the pursuit of greatness. Sharmel Iris's success began with a brutally honest understanding of human nature. As Blair Warren notes, the degree to which we will be able to influence others will be in direct proportion to the amount of truth that we can accept about human nature. Iris recognized that people, especially in the literary world, crave stories of lost genius, dramatic discovery, and the thrill of new greatness. He didn't judge this hunger, he exploited it, knowing that even critics and experts want to be part of a historic revelation. His own deep need for recognition and validation fueled his willingness to blur fact and fiction, making him both a master manipulator and a true believer in his own myth. Iris never demanded recognition outright. Instead, he masked his intent behind the apparent authenticity of his forged documents, the letters and endorsements, letting others discover his supposed brilliance. This indirect approach is crucial. The only successful way to make another mind obey a wish of our own mind is to present that command or desire in such a subtle manner that it will be unconsciously or willingly accepted before it has had time to analyze it and resent it. By letting the work speak for itself and by forging praise and introductions from major poets and artists, Iris allowed critics, editors, and the audience to draw their own conclusions. The recognition felt earned and organic, not forced, which made the deception all the more convincing. The sudden emergence of lost letters or the discovery of a new literary genius is inherently incongruous. It doesn't fit expectations and instantly captures attention. Things that are out of place and don't make sense in a given context or that confuse us will invariably grab our attention, and if exploited properly, will maintain it as well. Iris's forgeries were spectacles, drawing public and critical interest and making people eager to believe in a new discovery. By forging endorsements from respected figures, he also exploited the psychology of authority and social proof. People are far more likely to trust what appears to be validated by experts or celebrities. Iris's schemes tapped into several hidden addictions and deep psychological needs. The first was the need for fame and recognition. Iris's own hunger for greatness mirrored the public's appetite for new icons and discoveries. The next is hope and secret knowledge. Audiences and critics wanted to believe that they were witnessing a historic moment or uncovering a hidden genius. The next was the need to be right. Once experts and fans invested in Iris's story, their egos became tied to defending its authenticity, making them less likely to question inconsistencies. Then there was the halo effect. The use of forged letters from famous names created a powerful aura of legitimacy, causing people to overlook red flags. Iris's operation followed the classic confidence game formula, the approach. He created forgeries that seemed plausible and that were exciting to the public and critics, often using pseudonyms and fabricated networks of support. The build-up. He allowed the works to circulate, letting others discover and champion them, leveraging endorsements and connections. The convincer. Acclaim and praise snowballed as more people bought into the story, with the literary world's reliance on endorsements amplifying its effect. The hoorah. Iris enjoyed recognition, awards, and sometimes financial gain, as his persona seemed ever more legitimate. The blow-off. When the truth emerged, those who had believed in him were left embarrassed, but often rationalized their enthusiasm as a product of hope or excitement. Even after exposure, many supporters rationalized their belief, blaming their desire for discovery or the charisma of the forger, rather than admitting that they had been duped. Victims often lacked the means or motivation to verify Iris's claims, especially when his forgeries played into their own hopes of discovering the next great poet. The embarrassment of having their expertise or judgment questioned led many to double down on their original beliefs, or to excuse their gullibility as the price of hope. For many, the sting wasn't just professional, it was very personal, a reminder of how easily hope can cloud even the sharpest judgment. Iris's psychological success lay in his narcissism, creativity and manipulation of authority, and social proof, while his victims' susceptibility stemmed from a desire for discovery. Publishers, patrons, and editors wanted to find and support new talent, making them eager for Iris's appeals and manufacture reputation. The literary world's dependence on recommendations and connections, rather than rigorous verification, made it easier for Iris to deceive. Forged endorsement from respected figures caused people to accept Iris's legitimacy at face value. Many lacked the means or the motivation to actually check Iris's claims, especially when those claims fit their hopes and ambitions. Iris's story endures as a cautionary tale about the hunger for fame and the power of narrative. By masking intent, capturing attention with incongruity, and feeding hidden psychological needs, he blurred the line between ambition and fraud, reminding us that in the pursuit of greatness, even the sharpest minds can be led astray by the promise of recognition and the thrill of discovery. What if a single man could charm his way into the highest circles of power by pretending to be a Native American chief, an opera singer, and even a war hero? Next time, discover the astonishing exploits of Edgar LaPlante, the master of reinvention who dazzled European royalty, swindled millionaires, and left a trail of broken hearts and empty bank accounts across 2 continents. How did LaPlante transform himself into chief white elk and convince the world to believe his wildest lies? What made his act so irresistible? And why did so many want to believe? Don't miss this mesmerizing tale of identity, ambition, and the ultimate con. Subscribe now so you never miss the next unbelievable twist in the world's greatest con.